Now we'll be looking at some past questions relating to sequence and series so that we can see how to apply the concepts that we've learned to solve questions. So first, we have this question: the nth term of the progression 4 over 2, 7 over 3, 10 over 4, 13 over 5 is what? So the first thing we want to do is we want to look at these terms and try to figure out the relationship between them. So if we look at the denominator, we can see that the denominator is increasing by 1. So when the first term n is 1, then you had what? The term here was what? 1 plus 1, which is equals to 2. So for the second term now, n will be equals to, for the second term you have 2 and you added 1 to it, and that will be what? 3. So you know that the denominator is going to be what? N plus 1, because for each term you are just adding a 1 to it to give it the value that will be at the denominator. Now let's go to the numerator. In the numerator we can see that each of the term is increasing by 3. So you have 4 here, you have 7 here, you have 10 here, and you have 13 here. So what expression neatly describes this? So the numerator has to be what? 3n plus 1. And why is that? When n is equals to 1, 3n plus 1. So when n is equals to 1, I have what? 3 times 1 plus 1, which gives me 3 plus 1, and that is equals to 4. So when n is equals to 2, I have what? 3 into bracket 2 plus 1, and that gives me 6 plus 1, and that gives me 7. So the first term I have 7, second I have 7. So I can see that the numerator has to be 3n plus 1. So the answer is what? 3n plus 1 over n plus 1. Well, there are two options that are similar here. So the answer is either A, B, or D. So let's just say D. So another way to go about this is to look through the options, and from the options you can try to test each one of them to see which of them will give you this progression. The ones that gives you this progression is the correct answer, and if you do that, you're also going to arrive at D. Let's move on to the next question. We are told that the third term of an arithmetic progression is minus 9. So we know that the third term, and we know that we can write the third term of an AP as what? A plus 2D is equals to minus 9. And we are told that the seventh term, and we know that we can write the seventh term as what? A plus 6D is equals to what? Minus 29. Now we are told to find the 10th term of the progression. So to find the 10th term, we first need to find the first term and the common difference. So when we have two equations like we have over here, we can use simultaneous equation to calculate the value of both A and D. So to do that, I'm going to use the elimination method. And when I subtract equation 2 from 1, I have A minus A is eliminated. 2D minus 6D gives me what? Minus 4D. And I have minus 9A minus 29, which gives me minus 9A plus 29, which gives me 20. And if I divide both sides by minus 4, I get my common difference to be equals to what? Minus 5. So my common difference is minus 5. So now I can substitute the value of the common difference to find the value of A in any of these equations. So from equation 1, I know that A plus 2D is equals to minus 9. So I know that my A will be equals to what? Minus 9 minus 2D. So A will be equals to what? Minus 9, then minus 2, and my common difference is minus 5. So my A will be equals to what? Minus 9, then minus 2 times minus 5 gives me what? Plus 10. So I have minus 9 plus 10, and that is 1. So the first term is 1 and the common difference is minus 5. But the question asks me to find the 10th term. So now that the 10th term of an AP is given by what? A plus n minus 1 times the common difference. So I've got the first term to be 1, and I'm told to find the 10th term. So n in this case will be 10 minus 1, and my common difference is minus 5. So U10 now will be equals to what? 1 plus 10 minus 9, 1 is 9 times minus 5, and that will be what? 1. 9 times minus 5 is what? Minus 45. So I have 1 minus 45, and that gives me minus 44. So the correct answer to this question is B, or C rather, where the 10th term is what? Minus 44. Now let's move on to the next example. Here we are told to find the common ratio of the GP and we are given the first two terms. So we know that the common ratio is found by dividing the second term by the first term. So that will be what? Root 10 plus 2 root 5 over root 10 plus root 5. And now to divide this, we have to make use of surds and we have to rationalize the denominator. So now this proves the point also that when you have solved some questions in mathematics, they are interrelated. So for you to be able to attempt this question successfully, you also know how to be able to rationalize surd. So if you don't know how to rationalize surd, I suggest that you go to the module on surd and see how we rationalize conjugate surd. So the way we rationalize this surd now is by multiplying both the numerator and denominator by denominator, but now we change the sign that is in between those two terms from a plus to minus. So we have square root of 10 minus the square root of 5 over the square root of 10 minus the square root of 5. So now we just expand. So we have this times this. We have root 10 into bracket 10 minus root 5. Then we have plus 2 root 5 into bracket root 10 minus root 5. So there's a root here. Then I have what? Over, then this becomes difference of 2 squared, root 10 squared minus root 5 squared. So what does this become? I will expand. Root 10 times root 10 will give me what? 10. Root 5 times minus root 5 will give me minus root 50. Then plus 2 root 5 times root 10 will give me 2 root 50. And why 2 root 5 times minus root 5 will give me what? 2 times minus 5. 2 times minus 5. And when I do this, root 10 squared is what? 10. And root 5 squared is what? 5. So what does this become? This become 10. And I know that root 50 plus 2 root 5, I'll just solve this. So I have minus 1 plus 2. Then I have what? It means plus root 50. I know that 2 times minus 5 gives me minus 10 over, and I have what? Sorry, root 50 over here, and I have 10. Then I have 10 minus 5, which gives me what? 5. So this 10 cancels out this 10, and I'm left with what? Root 50 over 5. So now I can write 50 as the product of 25 times 2. So if I write as 25 times 2 over 5, and the square root of 25 is 5, so I can write it as what? 5 root 2 over 5. Now I can cancel out 5, cancel out 5, and I'm left with what? Root 2. So the common ratio is given by B, which is what? Root 2. So to recap, to find the common ratio, you need to divide the second term by the first term. But to solve or simplify this, you need to rationalize this surd, and that is what we did. So if you don't know how to rationalize surd, I would suggest again that you go to the module on rationalization of surd and you try to learn how to do it. Then once you're able to do it, you get your common ratio to be equals to the square root of 2. So this again shows how concepts in mathematics are related, and it pays to know most of them or all of them if possible. Now let's move on to the next question. Here we are told that the sum of the first n terms of their arithmetic progression 5, 11, 17, 23, 29, 35 is what? So we are told to find the sum. So now we know that the formula for the sum is given as n over 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. So now we are trying to find the sum of the first n term. So we have n. Now from the progression, we know that our first term is what? A, and our first term is what? 5. So our first term is 5, and our common difference d is found by finding the difference between any two consecutive terms. So you can say it's equals to what? 11 minus 5, and that gives us 6. You can choose to say 17 minus 11, you still get 6. 29 minus 23, you still get 6. So you just have to subtract two consecutive terms. So I can write s now in terms of n equals to n over 2. And I know that my first time is 5, so I have what? 2 times 5, then plus n minus 1, and my common difference is 6. So what does this become? So s becomes n over 2, and 2 times 5 is 10, then plus, I can expand this. 6 times n is what? 6n, and 6 times minus 1 is minus 6. So this becomes n over 2 into bracket 6n, and 10 minus 6 gives me what? Plus 4. So I can bring this over 2 into the bracket here. So I have n into bracket 6n plus 4 over 2, still the same thing. Then I can split this. I have what? N into bracket 6n over 2 plus 4 over 2. And what does this become? N into bracket 6n over 2 gives me 3n, and 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. So the answer to this question, or the sum of the first n term, is given as n into bracket of 3n plus 2. And that means the correct option is B. So the answer to this question is B. Now let's look at another example, past question to be precise. We are told that if the seventh term of an AP is twice the third term, so know that the nth term of an AP is given as A plus n minus 1 D. So that we know that the seventh term now will be what? The seventh term, which is U7, will be equals to what? A plus 7 minus 1 times D, and that will be what? A plus 6D. Similarly, we know that the third term U3 will be equals to A plus 3 minus 1D, which will be what? A plus 2D. So we are told that the seventh term is what? Is 2 times of the third term. So we can substitute the value of the seventh term and the third term. So I know that the seventh term is what? 6A plus 6D is equals to twice of the value of the third term, which is what? A plus 2D. So I can expand this. I have A plus 6D is equals to 2 times A is 2A. 2 times 2 is 4D. So what do I obtain from this now? So if I bring this to the other side, I have 2A plus 4D, and I bring this to the other side, minus A minus 6D equals to 0. So 2A minus A will give me A, and 4D minus 2D will give me minus 2D is equals to 0. So this will be my first equation. Now, I'm also told that the sum of the first 4 terms is 42. So now I know that the sum of an AP is given by n over 2 into bracket 2A plus n minus 1D. And now I'm told that the sum of the first 4 terms, so when n is equals to 4, the sum is 42. So I can write that what? 42 is equal to the sum of the first 4 terms. So 4 over 2 into bracket, but I don't know my first term. So I have 2A plus, and my n in this case is 3 minus 1. Sorry, the first 4 terms, so it's 4 minus 1 into bracket D. So what does this become? So 42 is equals to 2 into bracket 2A plus 3D. If I divide both sides by 2, what do I get? This cancels out. So I have what? 21 is equals to 2A plus 3D. And the questions ask me to find the value of D. So I have 2 equations now. So from the first equation, I know that A minus 2D is equals to 0. So I know that A is equals to 2D. So I can substitute the value of A equals to 2D in the second equation. So when I do that, the second equation is given as 2A plus 3D is equals to 21. And I know that A is equals to 2D. So I can substitute it here. So I have 2 into bracket 2D plus 3D is equals to 21. 2 times 2 gives me what? 4D, then plus 3D is equals to 21. So 7D is equals to 21. If I divide both sides by 7, I get what? 3. So D is equals to 3. So the common difference is what? 3. So the correct option is B. Now on to the next question. Here we are told to find the sum to infinity of the sequence. So we know that the sum to infinity is given by A over 1 minus R. So from the sequence, we know that the first term A is what? 1. And the common ratio, we know we get the common ratio by dividing the second term by the first term. So here it's going to be 9 over 10 divided by 1. And that gives us what? 9 over 10. So the common ratio is 9 over 10. So our sum to infinity is going to be equal to the first term here, which is what? 1 over 1 minus 9 over 10. So which will be equals to 1 over, the LCM here will be 10, and 1 in 10, 10, 10 times 1, 10 minus 9, which is going to be equals to 1 over 1 over 10, which is the same thing as writing 1 divided by 1 over 10. And when you change it to multiplication, you have 1 times 10 over 1, and that is equals to what? 10. So the sum to infinity of this sequence is 10, and the correct option is D. Now let's move on to the last question that I'll be examining. So here we are told that the first term of a GP is twice of its common ratio. So now we know that the first term of a GP is A. So we are told that the first term of a GP is what? Is 2 times of the common ratio. We are now told to find the sum of the first 2 terms of the progression. So we are told to find the sum of the first 2 terms, S2, if its sum to infinity is 8, and we are given the sum to infinity as what? 8. So now we know that the sum to infinity is given by A over 1 minus R. So now we know that we can write our first term A in terms of the common ratio, because I have been given that our first term is 2 times of the common ratio, and we know that our sum to infinity is 8. So if we substitute these two values, we have what? 8 is equals to A, which is the same thing as 2R over 1 minus R. Then we can cross multiply, and when we do that, we have 2R is equals to 8 into bracket 1 minus R. And when we do that, we have 2R is equals to 8 times 1, 8, and 8 minus R gives me minus 8R. So if I bring this over here, I have 2R plus 8R is equals to 8. So this gives me 10R is equals to 8, and if I divide both sides by 10, I have R is equals to 4 over 5. So now I've seen that the value of R is what? 4 over 5. However, the question asks us to find the sum of the first 2 terms of the progression. So we know that the formula for calculating the sum of n term in the geometric progression is given by A into bracket 1 minus Rn over 1 minus R. Now I'm making use of this formula in which I have 1 minus Rn, because in this case my common ratio R is less than 1. So I'm told that the first term A is 2 times of the common ratio, so I can substitute that here. So I have my second term now be my first term, which is 2 times of the common ratio times 1 minus Rn over 1 minus R. And I know that my n is 2 and my common ratio is 4 over 5. So S2 equals to 2 times common ratio is 4 over 5, then times 1 minus 4 over 5 squared, then over 1 minus 4 over 5. So what would that give me? So this will give me 8 over 5 times, then I have 1 minus, then 4 squared is 16, and 5 squared is 25, and 1 minus 4 over 5 gives me 1 over 5. So S2 becomes 8 over 5 times 1 minus 16 over 25 is going to give me 9 over 25. 1 over 9 over 25, then I have divided by 1 over 5. So what does that become? That becomes 8 over 5 times 9 over 25. Then if I want to change this divide to times, I turn this or multiply by the inverse. So 5 cancels out my 5, and I have 8 times 9, which is 72 over 25. So the sum of the first 2 terms is what? 72 over 25, and the correct option is option B. So the answer is B, 72 over 25. So this pretty much sums up all you need to know with regards to series and sequence. Bye for now.